A.C.B.A.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog, nice. Coming at you with a daily update. So happy Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I put up a video on Friday. We did not do the articulated comic book art podcast. We will return this coming Friday with a very special episode. So stay tuned and look out for that. But in terms of my video update from Friday, we talked about the Blob single deluxe box set figure and the Jim Lee costumed X-Men 3-packs. And yes, both of these things are expensive, overpriced even, mostly because there are not enough accessories packed in. Now again, building a Build-A-Figure the traditional way by buying 7 to 8 or maybe as little as 6 figures to complete that Build-A-Figure is going to cost you twice as much as buying a single deluxe box set figure. So in that regard, it's not crazy, but for 60 to 70 bucks, you could definitely get an import figure with tons of heads, hands, effect parts that represent their power set, etc., etc. So Blob for 60 with 1 additional head and 1 additional set of hands is absolutely unacceptable. I don't like it. It's something I've been railing against since the beginning. I report the news, I give my opinion about things, and at the end of the day, I'm a Marvel fan, a Marvel Legends fan through and through. I'm going to speak out against the things that I don't think are fair or balanced, but I'm absolutely going to continue to buy Marvel Legends. Pushing them towards adding more heads and hands is something that I've been doing for years now. In my most recent interview with the Hasbro team at New York Comic Con, we talked about this again. At minimum, for a $60 deluxe box set figure, I think there should be 3 head sculpts and 3 sets of hands. And if that were the case, then I think more people would be comfortable with that price point. But what's not going to happen is Hasbro's not going to lower the price. At this particular point, Marvel Legends is an adult collector-based line. And for me personally, as a display artist, and because like 90% of the stuff that I purchase is because I want to display it, I want to play with it, I want to photograph it. And aside from food, this is what I spend the most money on. It is what it is. It's my hobby. Same thing goes for the single deluxe box set Mojo, which absolutely should have had an additional head sculpt and an additional set of hands. But I'm gonna come back to that. Check out my video from Friday. Links for pre-orders are still in the description below. I just want to say that the Mezco Constantine figure is super duper nice. I opened him on Friday. I showed him briefly in the video update from Friday, but you know, I got to mess around with him, and yeah, it's a very, very nice figure. As you know, I'm not an avid DC comic book reader, but just over the weekend, the amount of pictures of Constantine that have come out that have been great is definitely inspiring. Also got a chance to open some of the figures from the Controller Build-A-Figure wave, US Agent, which again, suffering from one of the same problems that I just talked about. Should have had another head sculpt, should have had more hands. And these shields that they're giving with Captain America, US Agents, and other characters of the like are complete and utter trash. The shelf life for these shields are like a week or 2. You clip it on their wrists a few times and that clip's going to break. There's no detail on the inner portion of the shield, and not to mention like 80% of the shields that they put out are too small unless they come with one of the MCU Captain America or Captain America-esque figures. I'm not really understanding that. But yeah, I was in the process of taking out my West Coast Avengers, so I had US Agent here with War Machine and Iron Man, just taking a bunch of silly shots. Spider-Man here laughing at Captain, kind of like dressing down US Agent. Again, I was just taking out things, arranging them to do some actual real displays, but to also do some white hots. Got the modern big 3, you know, this Iron Man and Thor are from that Controller Build-A-Figure wave. I still need to run and pick up the, what's this chick's name? I'm drawing a blank. Something will pop up here so I can complete Controller. She's the right leg, I believe, for the Build-A-Figure. But yeah, also got around to opening Gore, which I like a lot. However, like I mentioned last week, I do want to get a soft goods replacement for his like tattered hood and robe here. There's been some back and forth in the comment section on the picture that I posted on Instagram, as well as I think the video update on whether or not the figure should have feet that are digitigrade, and if the figure is inaccurate in terms of the comic book look. Now, I would have liked the figure to look more like most of the comic art, but I don't know that it's really clear because it's been drawn both ways. Still, I like this guy a lot. Now, I also got around to opening this Daredevil 3-pack that features Daredevil, Bullseye, and Elektra. Daredevil is on the new or newish buck that was introduced on Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, which I unveiled and reviewed. So if you haven't checked check that out, please go back and check it out. It's on the channel here. A link for that is in the description below. But the pictures I saw of Daredevil initially, I didn't really like the way the chest looked. It looked kind of adolescent to me, but in hand, whoa, this figure is very nice. In fact, everything in the set is pretty nice. I like this set a lot, but I do have some issues. First and foremost, every last one of the figures in the set should have come with 3 interchangeable hands. That should be the minimum at this particular point, especially in a box set. If it's a box set, we should be getting more. There should be some bonus items in a box set. Now, Bullseye does have 3 sets of interchangeable hands, sorta. An additional head. He's got the holster where you can sheath his little knife, which is all one apparatus that has a gun holster but no gun. Come on, get out of here with that. And then the knife throwing hand effect, you already know that that effect is gummy. You're definitely gonna have to try to do a hot water cold water trick to straighten it out. Honestly, they could have kept that. I would have taken another head or another set of hands. Daredevil, definitely one of the best baton effects that we've gotten. They could have went the extra mile and it could have been bendy wire, but I'll take the 2 interchangeable wire effects that we did get. 1 set of interchangeable hands for Daredevil, unacceptable. A character like this, like Spidey, running, jumping, flipping, kicking, punching, he needs 3 sets of interchangeable hands at minimum. Fist, hands for holding his weapon, jazz hands, no question about it. Maybe even a pointing hand. Open palms, this guy's a martial artist. Come on, just go the distance and give us all the hands that we need, especially on this new great buck, this great looking Daredevil, the best Daredevil we've ever received from the Marvel Legends line, no doubt about it. Elektra looks great. Pinless joints on Daredevil too, by the way, but pinless joints on Elektra. 2 very expressive, vibrant looking head sculpts with voluminous hair. The 2 sides that she came with, garbage. Way too gummy. Probably even way too gummy to even do a hot water, cold water with these things. The sword was fine. 1 set of interchangeable hands. Again, she's a ninja. Give her all the hands we need for martial arts poses and gestures. And also, I would have liked another head sculpt for Elektra or something that was not as dramatic. Just 1 head sculpt here with the white do-rag with her hair relaxed. Come on. Is that too much to ask in a box set? Also, we absolutely needed another head sculpt for Daredevil as well. Something with his teeth gritted, some type of expression. Battle damaged mask or totally unmasked head. Brand new for Matt Murdock. Even though I think that we'll probably get that in a single carded, retro carded Daredevil. Of course, they got to do it that way. But still, aside from those gripes, this set is very good, and it is one I would highly recommend.
That's crispy.